The Republicans waged an all-out assault on efficient government today. Quote, the House passed a measure to dramatically restrict the government's ability to enact any significant new regulations or safety standards, potentially hamstringing the efforts of every federal agency, from financial regulators to safety watchdogs. Huffington Post reports here, they continue, the Regulatory Accountability Act targets obscure parts of the regulatory process that very few people understand, but has such broad scope that it would affect all agencies, from independent regulators such as the Securities and Exchange Commission to executive branch agencies such as the Environmental Protection Agency. So you're probably thinking, well, how? How are they going to go about making it so that you can't implement any new rules through these regulatory agencies? The idea is, quote, just about every step an agency takes on a major new rule is subject to numerous legal challenges. So that didn't used to be the case, but now it is the case, or now they're trying to make it the case. Probably won't get through the Senate, and hopefully if it does, Obama will veto it. But the idea is that you'll have government bodies and committees, and the judiciary too. They're adding unnecessary layers here to block everything. So think about it. We just discussed the other day, Ted Cruz is going to head a NASA committee and a science committee. I mean, that's like the worst nightmare of scientists come true, because the guy's a flat-out science denier. So the idea is to have committees like that, or, Republican-appointed judges, oversee the scientists at the EPA when they say, hey, here are some new mercury rules because there's a mercury poisoning problem in whatever river and we need to stop it, so here's our new regulations. And instead of that just being implemented and being effective, you have dumbasses like Ted Cruz and Republican judges appointed by George W. Bush. They'll go, well, hold on now. Let's not be so sure about this science thing. What do we really know about science? So it's a way to take agencies that are experts in said field and make it so that we no longer have the experts running the regulatory process in said field. It's actually very similar to what the Republicans have done with abortion regulations in red states. How this isn't really an anti-regulation thing. What they're doing is they're over-regulating. So, like with the abortion clinics, what do? They go in and they measure the size of hallways, and they say, oh, look, we just passed a new rule that says your hallway can't be 10 feet wide, which it is. It's got to be 11 feet, so you need to break it down and rebuild your entire clinic or go bankrupt and go out of business. It's over-regulating on purpose. This is the same thing. You have a judge who knows dick about science, or a guy like Ted Cruz who knows dick about science, step in when the EPA is doing their business and they go, well, let's wait here. I have authority over you, and I'm not sure this is the right idea. No matter how many studies you present to them, they could go, we're not sure here. And then also you could have industry-funded groups come in and sue them at every turn for every little new regulation they put into place to try to handcuff them and stop them from doing any new regulation. So this would destroy environmental regulation, and this would destroy financial regulation. Now that's already beyond destroyed, as is environmental regulation, really. I mean, we have a little bit of it in America, but it's nowhere near what it should be. But this is going to basically make it so that we devolve. See what happens, America, when you don't really follow politics very closely, and when the Democrats really don't get out to vote, and young people really don't get out to vote, and when people just vote against parties as opposed to learning about what both parties are for, and you vote for a party, what happens? We get to a situation where Republicans end up taking over, and they wreak havoc on everything. And also, let's not forget, it's not just the fault of the voters here, because the Republicans rigged everything in multiple past elections, whether it's the gerrymandering, which made it so that in the House, the Democrats actually won by millions of votes 2 elections ago, but the Republicans ended up holding on to their majority, or whether it's just the way that the Senate is structured, for example, where because you have Nebraska, which has a population of 6, get just as many senators as California, which has a population of 7 trillion, what happened? The Democrats won by like 8 million votes in the Senate in the last Senate election, but they got destroyed. So there are some systemic problems, there are some corruption problems, there are some cheating problems, and there are some personal voting problems. But either way, this is the result right here, and it's scary.